I'm doing something slightly different. One of the things I've always loved in philosophy is the ability of a good philosopher to summarise a whole sequence of arguments stretching thousands of years and arrange these philosophers as if they're answering each other. And somehow, in a kooky old way, it works. Last time, I did an example of that with the state of nature, and this time I'm going to do the biggie. I'm going to do time. So I'm going to give you the history of history. A history of an enigma. 2,000 years, 2,500 years, from Plato to Deleuze. 12 apostles of time. You can ask me afterwards which one is which. But I do start with Plato. What is time? But the passage of the soul's chariot around the rim of the eternal.
Piffle, nonsense, incomprehensible! What is time? But the number of change, that which renders it numerical, splitting it and uniting it at the now.
That is the first moment of what is, the last moment, and where it stops being merely what might be. Vulgar nonsense. What is time? But the flight of the soul in its immortal pain, lost in the world of matter, as it remembers the one from which it came. Heathen rubbish. What is time but an illusion? Past, future are gone. Nothing, only the present is real. What is time but the moment God closes the treasury house of his knowledge against us all? No. What is time but the imagination of the passage of the sun over the day, an imagination across which I pour my hopes and my dreams and my passions? Better. No, what is time but the yearning of the minutest perceptions, the desires, the small, small thoughts that lie in our mind beyond any count, and yearn for the future they are big with, even as they echo the past. Can you understand that? No, of course not. What is time? Well, in all these accounts, it is merely a manner of the idea of change that ignores what is real, the vividness of perception, on which our mind is based. Maybe. What is time but an inner sense that takes the manifold perceptions that can never be gathered in a single consciousness unless they were run through and held together and thrown against the wall of our future? In part. What is time but an intensive multiplicity where each moment interpenetrates the last, so that the whole together are more like a musical note and not like a collection of things or an object? Vulgar. I will tell you what time really is. Time is the horizon line of being. The moment becoming sheds its dark light upon us all. This is also funny. I'll tell you what time really is. It's a way of accusing every other philosopher of being vulgar, while you yourself has invented some kind of unity nobody else has ever seen before. Maybe. I will tell you what time is. It is a circle whose end and beginning is everywhere, but whose centre is nowhere. The eternal return of the event, as it falls upon the mind, breaks it, binding it together in a single univocal being, in which all possible universes are held, a chaosmos of possibility. 2,500 years of history.